So I'm going to talk a little bit less about technology and a little bit more about people, because the purpose of all this technology is to connect with people, and our supposition is that people are different because of technology, right? So let's start with this. This is breakfast cereal. When I was a kid, I ate a lot of breakfast cereal. All my friends ate breakfast cereal. I ate breakfast cereal in particular because my mother was working. My father was working, my mother was working. There was no time in the morning, so we had cereal because that was all that we could do as a family, was to throw some cereal in a bowl, add some milk, there's breakfast, everybody off to school. So the reason that I ate breakfast cereal when I was a kid was because it was convenient. Then I went off to university. I couldn't cook, I didn't have any time, and I also didn't have any money, so I ate a lot of breakfast cereal. Then I finished and I started a really small agency, and we promised the people who were coming to work at the agency that we would feed them, but we didn't have any money and we actually wanted them to work and not to eat. So we gave them breakfast cereal because it was quick and it was cheap and it was easy. So there's been a lot of breakfast cereal in my life. The thing I worry about as I get older is breakfast cereal still cool? Because I thought it was really cool, especially with sugar. Now, we have this. This is in London where I live. This is the Serial Killer Cafe. This is a restaurant where you can go get cereal. They have more than 100 different flavors of cereal. They have all kinds of milk and fruit and Pop-Tarts and all kinds of great stuff at the Serial Killer Cafe. They've just opened in Birmingham as well. So you're thinking, that looks pretty cool, but how cool is it really? It's super cool. These dudes are Alan and Gary Keary. They're from Belfast in Northern Ireland. They're identical twins, and they are, you got it, millennials. Look at them. These guys are like off the poster. Got the beards, they got the ink. They have a restaurant that sells cereal, right? So we know that they're cool. We know that cereal was something, a part of all of our childhood. So cereal must be like taking off. Here's the inside of the restaurant, and here is cereal. It's collapsing in the US. Cereal sales are way down. Why are cereal sales way down? Why do people not want to eat cereal like they used to? Well, this is the reason. Because when you eat cereal, you need a bowl, and you need a spoon, and you have to clean it. And that is, depending on your perspective, either really convenient or incredibly inconvenient, right? So what's happened is this product went from being super popular because of convenience to unpopular for the same reason, right? What's taking off instead in the US is ready-to-eat breakfast bars. You unwrap it, you eat it, you throw away the wrapper, there's no water, there's no bowl, there's no spoon. Okay, so the point is not that cereal changed. Cereal stayed exactly the same. The people changed, and their expectations changed about what represents convenience. Okay, so who is this person who thinks that breakfast cereal is inconvenient? They are what we call an entitled consumer, someone who thinks themselves deserving of special privilege. I would argue that all of us are entitled consumers. What do we want? We want, 90% of us want real-time customer service. 80% want automatic payments and checkouts when we're online. The same number of people expect same-day delivery, which in the US is an unbelievably difficult thing to do. And half of us expect brands to know what we want. And unbelievably, almost half of consumers expect that there will soon be a service that will ship them a product before they order it. Okay? This is an actual thing, by the way, called anticipatory commerce, right? Now, I don't want to be in the anticipatory commerce business because it sounds really hard, but the point is not whether there's going to be anticipatory commerce. The point is people, consumers, half of them think it's coming. And all of us have to market in a world where people think that people are going to order stuff through their brains. And we're just going to know as marketers what to send them. Okay? This is a tough, bad world that we're in. Okay, so here's our millennial guy. He expects more. And his grandparents are worried about privacy online. What he's worried about is relevance. He understands that he's giving up all his data when he surfs the net. He is not so worried about privacy, but he expects brands to give him an individual experience. This is the first generation that doesn't want to be thought of as a generation. This dude wants to be thought of as him, not as a millennial, not as a caricature by Gen Wire of a guy with a hat and a beard. He wants to be thought of as an individual person, and he knows that as a brand, I have the data to do it, right? Here's another example. This was the leading quick-serve restaurant chain in the US for years, McDonald's. 60 seconds was their goal, in and out. Convenience, convenience, convenience. But the problem is, it's all the same food for everyone. This is a new competitor called Chipotle. They serve Mexican food. Takes slightly longer than 60 seconds, more like 2 minutes, but they give you a meal for you. You pick every ingredient in the food, you walk down the line, it's totally fresh, and it's for you. Quarter pounder, a Big Mac, that stuff is all the same for everybody. It's mass, this is personal. So, what does the entitled consumer want? They want convenience, they definitely want value, and most importantly, they want relevance. They want one-to-one, they want something that's built for them. So, it's tough. We've gone from 500 brand impressions a day to 10,000. We've gone from a world where people give us about 8 seconds of attention. That's the average human attention span. Goldfish, 9-10 seconds. Humans are behind goldfish in terms of attention. There's a thing called CPA, continuous partial attention. Hang out with a teenager. They watch streaming media on a big screen. They've got a phone in their other hand, a magazine in the third hand, and they might be having a conversation all at the same time, right? It's unbelievable. They are not multitasking. They are selectively paying attention to one thing, tuning out the other things, and then switching. So they're continuously paying partial attention to a lot of stuff. That means if you want to send that teenager a message, you've got to tune out the other 3 things and get your message through. That's hard. TLDR, don't know if you guys know what that means. This is a critical thing to understand, TLDR. TLDR means too long, didn't read. This is also, I know a teenager. This is how we communicate. Try sending a teenager an email, by the way. That is also ineffective. So you've got to talk to kids. And when I say kids, I mean consumers who have a lot of money in a way that they can understand. But what do we do instead? We use TV still. We assume that everyone follows the same path to purchase. We treat everyone like they're clones. And we don't pay attention. We don't understand that people are not paying attention in the moment. So our hypothesis at Selligent is people live in moments. So I'm going to show you a Google video real quick. So that's a genius video, and it talks about how we all really live, which is in the moment. And the moment is the key to marketing, right? Because that's when somebody has to make a big decision. So we think about that in terms of something we call consumer first marketing. So traditionally marketers start with a program, a channel. I'm going to send everyone an email. Okay, what do I put in the email? I'm going to do a big outdoor display campaign. What am I going to put in it? We think you need to turn that upside down and start with the need, the person, the individual need, and work backwards. So instead of starting with the channel and working all the way down to the consumer, we would argue you need to start with the need that the individual has. Treat that person with integrity, respect their privacy, but also listen to what they're telling you about their needs. Be empathetic, put yourself in their shoes, listen to what they want, and then deliver them, most importantly, something that's relevant to the moment that they're in, because that's when you'll have success. Okay, we have a big software platform. The software platform basically enables you to reach out across different channels, understand what people are doing in the moment, and then act on those channels. The point being personalized, individual, omni-channel communication across all the digital touchpoints and whatever analog touchpoints you might need to deliver a message that speaks to people in this precise moment that they're in. Okay, here's our millennial guy, all of the channels that are connecting to him, and how he's picking up those messages because we have a universal profile of that person and what he likes to do. His history, what he's messaging he's responded to in the past, where he is, what he's thinking about based on his current browsing behavior, so you're making a relevant offer to him. So I'm going to try to bring this to life a little bit with a couple of examples, and then I'll wrap up. The first example is for a real estate broker in the US called Webit. Okay, so think about the real estate business for a second. So these guys don't build houses, they just sell them. They sell your house to you, and they make a little money on it, right? The problem is it's very hard to have a relationship in that business because you don't move very often. So their consumers work with them every 15 years, 10 years, and they have to maintain a relationship in between. That's hard work, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on it. So they're thinking about, how do I show that I care about my customers but not spend any money at the same time? So they came up with this idea, genius idea, about snow. So after somebody buys a house from them, the first time it snows in that area, they send them an email. So I don't know if you've ever had a house, bought a house, and then had the snow fall on it, but it looks amazing. It's clean, it's beautiful, and you're like, oh my God, look at my house, looking all white and perfect. And they send you an email that says, oh my God, it snowed on your house. Any problems? Is the water, the pipes, are they frozen? Is the roof holding up? Can we help you? But also, take a picture. Tell your friends. This is amazing. We were just thinking of you when this happened. So the point here is, and this is all set up by an automatic trigger, right? We have postal code data with weather, so we know when it snows. We have a database that knows who bought the house when. And there's no human being involved, it's just automated algorithm. Send an email. Setting up that program took 45 minutes, and it delighted several hundreds of thousands of people who received an email who think, hey, Redfin cares about me and my moment, and I want to maintain a relationship with them. I'm going to give you another interesting example. So there is a big bank, ING, which most of you have heard of, giant bank, and like all retail banks, their biggest challenge is getting new customers, because new customers for banks are young people. You want to get them in university, first job time, and then build a relationship with them that will last for 40 years. So rather than reaching out to young people, this is in Belgium, rather than reaching out to young people on the basis of how great their banking services are, ING said they're probably not going to listen to that. Let's think about those people and what their problems are. And what do young people do in Europe in the summer? They go to music festivals because they're fun. But music festivals have problems. There's no parking, there's no toilets, there's no place to charge your phone. If you're carrying a lot of valuable stuff, there's no place to put it. You want to share your experience with your friend, but that's kind of hard to do because it's hard to get a signal because there's so many people on the phone network. So ING built this summer festival campaign using our technology, which is to go to music festivals and provide all these things that young folks want who are at the festival, right? So they built pavilions. In the pavilions, there's phone charging stations, there's toilets, that are actually clean. There's lockers where they can store their stuff. There are places to park. There's hardwired internet so that they can share photos and stuff with their friends. And there's an opportunity at the same time for ING to capture a lot of information about all of these potentially valuable customers who are grateful that there's a bank that understands what they want, even if what they want has nothing to do with banking, right? It's about, oh, you got it. You understand what I need as someone coming to this festival. You might be somebody who would understand what I need in a bank, because it's a lot easier to sell this as a solution to a problem than it is to sell a bank account. So I will move forward to the conclusions, and they had a huge uplift in their brand visibility amongst their target demographic as a result of that summer festival campaign, and we're very, very pleased with the results that they got, and they got a lot of information about a lot of potential customers. So I'm going to wrap up here. A few things to take away. First of all, less is more, right? You've got to treat customers with integrity and with respect. Consumers want that today more than ever. They want to be treated as individuals. They want you to respect their preferences about how often and how you communicate with them. And they want stuff that's relevant, because that's the only way that you're going to break through. You've got to shift from a channel approach. I'm going to send an email to a consumer-first approach. You've got to put those needs first. There's no other way that you're going to win. And if you look at the successful tech companies that are here, they did that, and that's what led them to the success that they've had. And last slide. No last slide. I'll end on that slide. There's one more, but that's good. Thank you very much. I'll take it.